Hello viewers, welcome to my channel. Today I am going to discuss Banquo as a foil to Macbeth. Let's start. The characters of Banquo and Macbeth are superb dramatic creations of Shakespeare. In Macbeth, they are represented as foil to each other. Such dramatically opposite characters engage our attention right from the beginning of the drama. Banquo's function in the play is mainly as a foil to Macbeth. With Macbeth, he is co-leader of Duncan's army against the rebel MacDonald and the King of Norway. Like Macbeth, he is an important member of the aristocracy, and he too meets the witches who make prophecies concerning him. Macbeth and he therefore have enough in common to make their different reactions and responses to events important. We may first notice their different reactions to the witches' prophecies. Macbeth regards them as supernatural soliciting, but it is Banquo who reminds us that the evil tries to win us with honest trifles to betrays in deepest consequence. And Banquo's caution is the proper response, not Macbeth's egoistic assumption of supernatural soliciting. Second, we may notice the image of time and growth of frequently used by Banco, which indicate his acceptance of God's order and which contrast with Macbeth's attempt to control time for his own purpose. Banco is wary not only of supernatural temptation but also of human temptation. Macbeth falls not only for the lure of the witches but also for the temptation offered by his wife. But when Macbeth says to Banquo, "If you shall cleave to my consent, when 'tis, it shall make honor for you," Banquo indicates in his reply that he will be involved in no dirty work for worldly gain, so I lose none in seeking to argument it. At the beginning of Act 2, he says to Macbeth, "I dreamed last night of the three wed sisters. To you they have showed some truth." What did he dream about? Was it of a foul way of gaining his ambition? He had said earlier in the scene that he had had cursed thoughts in his sleep. He dreams at any rate, so his powerful interest in what the witches had forecast for him. Finally, although his soliloquy in Act 3, Scene 1 begins with a consideration of how Macbeth had attained the kingship, Banquo does not dwell on that subject long. Macbeth's acquisition of the crown only leads him to the thought of the truth of the witch's prophecy to Macbeth and therefore to the possibility that their prophecy to him may also end in truth. But these revelations of Banquo's ambitious drives, while they make him more interesting to us in that they show him to be a man of conflicting motives, also accentuate his function as a foil to Macbeth. For like Macbeth, he is powerfully driven to worldly goals, but unlike Macbeth, he never confuses fair and foul. Banco is brave both physically and spiritually, and he has an intelligence that teaches his bravery to act with discretion. Such a contrast between the two characters produces upon as an impression that Shakespeare is always a master artist in introducing pairs of contrasting characters for producing dramatic effectiveness. Thank you very much for watching this video. For more videos, please subscribe my channel. Thank you.